Ethan Miller was pretty sure Chloe Sterling had out for him. As the undisputed queen of Northwood University's computer science department, Chloe was what you'd call intimidatingly gorgeous. Almond-shaped eyes, a perfect nose, porcelain skin, and a tall, willowy figure that belonged on a runway. But she always wore a frosty expression, and her gaze could give you hypothermia. Every guy on campus worshipped her from afar. The girls privately called her the Ice Queen. No one dared get too close. Right now, in the middle of a junior year lecture, Ethan had his head down, fingers flying across his phone screen, brow furrowed in concentration. "Babe, you will not believe what Chloe Sterling pulled today." He typed furiously, desperate to vent all his frustrations to his girlfriend on the other side of the screen. "Yeah, the campus it girl. She's hot, I guess, but a total ice queen. She was on my case again today." "Oh, what did she do this time?" His girlfriend, whose screen name was Luna Sky, replied instantly, followed by a little head-patting emoji. Seeing her reply, Ethan felt a surge of validation. "We were divvying up work for our group project, and I was just a little behind on my part of the code. A tiny bit." She just stood over my shoulder with her arms crossed, giving me this Arctic death glare, and said, so smugly, "Ethan, if you could just code as fast as your hair grows, we'd be golden." Are you kidding me? Since when is having great hair crime? And for what? Just because she's pretty, gets perfect grades, and has a legion of guys drooling over her? Why does she have to be so damn condescending? She's a walking glacier. He hammered out the long paragraph and hit send, feeling a little bit of the pressure release from his chest. "LOL," Luna Sky replied, with a laughing emoji. "Maybe she's just really serious about the project, and it's not personal. Don't be mad, okay? 3-inch. No way. She never gives anyone else this much grief. I'm telling you, she's targeting me." Ethan insisted. "Every time I run into her, it's a disaster. Last week in a library, I accidentally knocked over a book she had on the edge of her table, and the look she gave me. I almost bowed and scraped an apology. And the time before that, I was behind her in the cafeteria line, and she just glanced back at me, and I swear I felt like I just cut the entire line. You're so much better, babe. You're sweet, and you get me. You'd never look at me like that. God, I wish I could just hang out with you every day instead of dealing with this." He added a pathetic, "please comfort me" emoji at the end. "You goof. I miss you too," Luna Sky wrote back. "Maybe if you got to know her, you'd see she's not so bad. Maybe she has a cute side she doesn't show people." Get real. Her? A cute side? Ethan scoffed. "If she has a cute side, I'll literally eat my keyboard." The whole campus knows Chloe Sterling is the definition of an unapproachable ice queen. Never smiles, barely speaks, and any guy within a 10-foot radius automatically freezes over. I'm telling you, she's just got a nasty personality. My babe is the best in the whole world. He sent the message with a self-satisfied smirk, picturing his girlfriend's gentle, sweet smile on the other end, even though they'd never video chatted. But after more than 6 months of texting and voice messages, Ethan was certain his Luna Sky was an understanding, kind-hearted, slightly shy, and absolutely adorable girl. The complete opposite of an ice block like Chloe Sterling. "Well, I think you're the best, too," Luna Sky replied, followed by a kissy face emoji. "Forget about her. Just focus on your work, and I'll play some games with you tonight. You got it. You're the best, babe." Ethan's mood instantly brightened. Chloe who? He'd already forgotten her. He put his phone away and looked up just in time to see Chloe and a few of her friends walking past the classroom door. As if sensing his gaze, Chloe's cool eyes drifted over, meeting his not yet faded, goofy grin head-on. Ethan's smile froze on his face. He instinctively sat up straighter, trying to adopt a serious, contemplative expression. The corner of Chloe's mouth twitched, an almost imperceptible smirk. Her eyes seemed to say, "Look at this idiot." Then, as if nothing had happened, she looked away and walked off, those long, perfect legs carrying her down the hall with regal indifference. Ethan let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding, his mind already composing another rant. See, that look again. That was pure contempt. Undiluted scorn. "Babe, I just got annihilated by one of her looks." Of course, he'd saved that particular complaint for his girlfriend later tonight. He had no idea that Luna Sky, the girl he'd just been gushing to, was at that very moment walking out of the building, pulling her phone from a ridiculously expensive-looking designer handbag. Staring at the message, if she has a cute side, I'll literally eat my keyboard. A dangerous, playful smile flickered in her beautiful eyes. Chloe's slender fingers tapped gently on the screen as she murmured to herself, "A keyboard, huh? Well, Ethan Miller, you just wait." Over the next few days, the level of what Ethan perceived as Chloe's targeted harassment increased exponentially. During project meetings, the tasks assigned to him were always the most difficult and tedious parts, framed with a disingenuous, "You're the most capable, Ethan." But the way Chloe scrutinized his code, you'd think he was submitting a pile of garbage instead of programming. When he went to the library to do research, he'd inevitably run into Chloe, who would then criticize him for turning the pages too loudly, or tell him to please move, "You're blocking the light." It got so bad Ethan was starting to develop a genuine aversion to the library. The most ridiculous incident happened in the cafeteria. He'd finally made it to the front of the line for his favorite loaded tater tots. Tray in hand, he turned around and nearly collided with Chloe, who had materialized behind him out of thin air. He flinched so hard a cheesy, bacon-covered top flew off his tray and landed directly on his new sneaker. "Ethan," Chloe's voice was cool and detached, betraying no emotion. "Watch where you're going." Ethan looked at the greasy smear on his shoe, on the verge of tears. "Chloe, you just appeared right behind me." And she arched a perfect eyebrow, her gaze flicking down to his ruined sneaker. "Do you need me to pay for that?" No, it's fine. It was my fault. I wasn't holding my tray right." Ethan immediately backpedaled, grabbing his tray and scurrying away to a corner table. He thought he heard a faint, airy laugh from behind him, but he must have imagined it. The Ice Queen didn't laugh. Seriously, why was she everywhere? He immediately whipped out his phone to message his lifeline. "Babe, I've been struck down by the Demon Queen again. She definitely did it on purpose. My new kicks. I just wore them for the first time today. They're dead." Sobbing underscore emoji. GIF. Luna Sky's reply was swift. "Ah, poor baby. Don't cry. Maybe it was just a coincidence. I'm sure she didn't mean to." "A coincidence? How many coincidences can there be?" Ethan fumed. "She just can't stand me. That's it, I've decided. For now on, if I see her, I'm walking the other way. If you can't beat him, avoid him." "Yeah, maybe that's for the best," his girlfriend agreed. "Don't get into a fight with her. You'll just lose. How about I order you a boba tea tonight to make you feel better? You're the best. You're literally an angel." Ethan was instantly cured. "I want a brown sugar boba, extra sweet. Less ice. You're so much better than her. Whoever marries that Chloe Sterling is in for a miserable life. You can just tell she's mean and totally thoughtless." He launched into his daily routine of trashing Chloe while praising his own girlfriend to the heavens. On the other end of the line, Luna Sky listened to Ethan's 59-second voice memo rant while methodically wiping a tiny smudge of grease from her finger with a wet wipe. Her face was blank, but her eyes were dangerously bright. "Oh, miserable life? Mean? Thoughtless?" She repeated the words softly, the corner of her lips curling into a menacing smile. "Ethan Miller, it looks like that keyboard is definitely on your menu." The voice memo she sent back, however, was as gentle and sweet as ever. Okay, calm down. It's not worth getting worked up over someone like that. What game do you want to play tonight? I'm all yours." Ethan's attention was immediately diverted, and he began to excitedly discuss which champions they should play later. Chloe put her phone down and turned to her best friend, Maya Vance, who was watching her with a curious expression. "Maya, I need a favor." Well, is our princess finally making her move?" Maya teased. "Is this about that clueless Ethan Miller again? I was wondering why you've been tormenting the poor guy lately. You actually like him, don't you?" "Just shut up." A faint blush crept up Chloe's neck, but her face remained cool. "Are you going to help me or not?" "Of course I'll help. It's not every day I see you interested in a guy, especially one who, seems to spend a lot of time complaining about you behind your back." Maya stifled a laugh. "Okay, what do you need?" Chloe leaned in and whispered a few sentences. Maya's eyes grew wider and wider. Finally, she gave Chloe a huge thumbs up. "Damn, girl, that's cold. Psychological warfare at its finest. Don't worry, you can count on me." The next day, Ethan Miller faced the greatest crisis of his young life. During a break between classes, Maya Vance, Chloe Sterling's best friend and a campus beauty in her own right, walked over to him with a dazzling smile. In front of everyone, she handed him a small piece of paper with a phone number on it. "Hey, Ethan. Chloe said she wanted to discuss some details about the project with you privately. This is her personal number. She said you should add her." Maya's voice wasn't loud, but the classroom fell silent. Dozens of eyes shot toward Ethan, a mixture of shock, confusion, and raw, unfiltered jealousy. Ethan felt like he was holding a live grenade, not a piece of paper. His scalp tingled. "Oh, do you discuss the project? Can't we just talk in a group chat?" he stammered. "Some things are better discussed one-on-one," Maya said with a wink. "What's the matter? The great Chloe Sterling give a guy her number for the first time ever, and you don't want it?" No, that's not it." Ethan was so flustered he nearly dropped the paper. "I'll add her. Right now." He fumbled for his phone and added the contact, his mind screaming. Help. What does the Demon Queen want? A private dressing down? An in-person beatdown? A public execution? The friend request was accepted almost immediately. Chloe's profile picture was just a black square. Her feed was completely empty. It fit her whole, unapproachable vibe perfectly. A message popped up. "Meet me in the small garden behind the science building after your last class. We need to discuss optimizing the algorithm." Concise. Cold. It read like a military directive. Ethan typed back with a pained expression. "Okay, Chloe." Then he immediately switched to his chat with his girlfriend. "Babe," code red, "the Demon Queen has summoned me for a private audience. She even had her friend give me her number. I think it's a trap. This might be my last stand." Luna Sky replied. "She gave you her number and wants to meet you alone," followed by a wide-eyed emoji. "Yeah, what do you think she wants? Is she going to chew me out because I almost spilled food on her? Or because my code sucks? Is she going to humiliate me in person?" Ethan's imagination ran wild. "Maybe. She just wants to talk about the project?" His girlfriend's reply seemed a little slow. "Just go see what she wants. Maybe it's something good." Good? What could possibly be good about being alone with that glacier? Ethan was in despair. "Babe, if I don't text you by tonight, call the cops. My last words are, please format my hard drive. Just go. It'll be fine. Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised." His girlfriend's tone was a little odd, but Ethan was too panicked to notice. He just assumed she was trying to calm him down. That afternoon, with the grim resolve of a man walking to his doom, Ethan went to the garden. Chloe was already there, the setting sun casting dappled light over her through the leaves. She was wearing a simple white blouse and jeans, her tall frame and perfect profile looking like something out of a magazine. The formidable aura around her, however, was fully intact. Ethan shuffled over. Hey, Chloe. I'm here." Chloe looked up, her eyes lingering on his face for 2 long seconds that made his skin crawl before she finally spoke. "Right. About the recommendation algorithm. I think a collaborative filtering approach would be better. I need you to rewrite it." Ethan just stared. That was it. That's all. For one sentence. She couldn't use the group chat? Couldn't message him? She had to summon him here in person? Was she messing with him? He was raging internally, but on the outside, he was a model of compliance. "Okay, Chloe. I'll get right on it." "Good." Chloe nodded, but made no move to leave. Instead, she looked him up and down again, and then asked, "Ethan, I heard, you don't have a girlfriend?" A jolt went through Ethan. He instantly went on high alert, his back ramrod straight as he answered with righteous indignation. "I do. I have a girlfriend, and we're very happy." What is this? He thought. Is she trying to find some dirt on me? Or set me up with someone? Not a chance. I'm completely devoted to my babe. Chloe seemed to pause for a second, a flicker of amusement in her eyes. "Oh, you have a girlfriend? An online thing? How did you know?" Ethan blurted out, then immediately wanted to smack himself. Way to just admit it. Genius. The corner of Chloe's mouth twitched again, a ghost of a smile he barely caught. "Just a guess. I've never seen you hanging out with any girls on campus." She paused, then took a step closer. The distance between them shrank instantly. Ethan could smell a faint, pleasant scent coming from her, something clean and floral. He scrambled backward, his face flushing beet red, his heart pounding in his chest, out of sheer terror. "Chloe, please have some self-respect. I have a girlfriend." He crossed his arms over his chest like a damsel in distress warding off a villain. Seeing him like this, The amusement in Chloe's eyes deepened, though she quickly masked it, her Ice Queen facade snapping back into place. I was just going to say that online relationships aren't always what they seem. You should be more realistic, Ethan. With that, she gave him one last, meaningful look and turned, walking away with an effortless grace, leaving Ethan standing there, utterly bewildered. When he finally came to his senses, he grabbed his phone to report back to base. Babe, that was terrifying. I knew Chloe Sterling was up to no good. She actually asked if I had a girlfriend, and she knew it was online. Has she been investigating me? And then she got super close. It was so scary. Do you think she's trying to hit on me? To make me cheat on you, so she can laugh at me? She's evil. Women are terrifying. But don't worry, babe. I am a fortress of loyalty. My heart and soul belong to you. I will not be tempted by her evil ways. She could be as pretty as she wants. It doesn't matter. In my heart, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. He fired off a rapid-fire series of voice memos, his declaration of loyalty reaching epic proportions. After a long moment, a single text message came back from his girlfriend. Oh, so you think she's really pretty? Prettier than me? Ethan's blood ran cold. This was a trap. A classic trick question. He typed back furiously. No, absolutely not. She's just a cold, artificial kind of pretty. Nothing compared to my babe, who is naturally adorable and sweet and kind. She can't even hold a candle to a single strand of your hair. My babe is the most beautiful girl in the universe. Lunisco. Smiley face. Ethan stared at the smiley face. For some reason, it sent a chill down his spine, but he couldn't figure out why. He was probably just overthinking it. Of course his babe trusted him. After the private meeting in the garden, Chloe's behavior became even more baffling. She was no longer just tormenting him with academic-related tasks. She started to notice him in public in subtle, unnerving ways. During a department-wide assembly, for example, Ethan was secretly texting his girlfriend under the table when he heard the professor at the podium call his name. Ethan Miller? Chloe Sterling mentioned, you have some unique insights on this topic. Would you care to share them with us? Ethan looked up, completely baffled, and met Chloe's eyes. They looked calm and serene, but he could see a hint of mischief lurking within. He had no insights whatsoever. He mumbled and stuttered for a solid minute, his face turning crimson as the room filled with snickers. Chloe, meanwhile, looked on him passively, as if she had merely made a casual suggestion. Then there was the department basketball game. Ethan, a bench warmer, got to play for 10 minutes and was panting like an old dog when he came off the court. A bottle of ice-cold water was suddenly thrust in front of his face. The person holding it was Chloe Sterling. The entire gym went silent. All eyes were on him. Ethan looked at the water bottle, then at Chloe's expressionless face, and waved his hands frantically. No, thank you, Chloe. I brought my own. He scrambled over to the bench, grabbed his own half-empty bottle of lukewarm water, and started chugging it, a desperate act of performative loyalty. Chloe didn't say anything. She just retracted her hand and casually passed the bottle to another guy on the team, who looked like he was about to faint from sheer ecstasy. Ethan, meanwhile, was bombarded with glares that screamed, ungrateful idiot, and what a waste. He felt utterly wronged. He immediately pulled out his phone to complain. Babe, you won't believe it. She did it again. She offered me water in front of everyone. She's trying to paint a target on my back. The looks I was getting could kill. She's doing this on purpose. She wants me to be public enemy number one. His girlfriend replied, maybe she was just being nice? Or she thought you play hard. Nice? How about you be nice? She's an ice queen. And why me? Why not be nice to someone else? She's picking on me because she knows I'm an easy target. Ethan typed angrily. Babe, I think she's testing me. Testing my loyalty to you. But I'm telling you, I can pass any test. Even if Chloe Sterling was a literal goddess descended from heaven, she wouldn't be 1/1,000,000th as amazing as you. Don't you worry. After his declaration of loyalty, he couldn't help but add, but seriously, she's been acting so weird lately, always showing up where I am and doing things that could be totally misinterpreted. Could she actually be into me? He shuddered at the thought. No way. I'm definitely overthinking it. A girl like her, who has everyone chasing after her, would have to have terrible taste to be into me. She's probably just bored and messing with me for fun. What a weird hobby. On the other side of the screen, Chloe Sterling watched Ethan's mix of desperate loyalty and burgeoning self-doubt, and she had to cover her mouth to keep from laughing out loud. The voice she sent back, however, was laced with a hint of hurt. "Oh, so you think she's as beautiful as a goddess? And you think she's into you? Are you having second thoughts?" Hearing the quiver in her voice, Ethan nearly had a heart attack. He launched a counteroffensive of voice memos. "No, absolutely not. Babe, let me explain. I was just talking. I swear on my life, I have no feelings for her whatsoever. My heart belongs to you. If she gets any closer to me, I'll file a restraining order for harassment." "Well, that might be a bit much," his girlfriend replied, sounding amused. "Okay, I believe you. But you don't secretly enjoy it when she gives you all this attention, do you?" "Enjoy it? Are you kidding me?" Ethan cried. "It's torture. It's agonizing. It's terrifying. Babe, the only thing I enjoy is talking to you. You're the only one who gets me. You're my safe space. Chloe Sterling. She's my Grim Reaper." Chloe stared at the words Grim Reaper, her eyes narrowing. She hummed a little tune under her breath. "All right, Ethan Miller. So now I'm a Grim Reaper, am I? Just you wait." The day before the final project was due, Chloe summoned Ethan to a quiet booth in a coffee shop near campus, under the pretext of a final review of their materials. Ethan was on edge the entire walk over. This felt like the final judgment. He even double-checked his phone's battery, making sure he had enough juice to send one last SOS to his girlfriend before his inevitable demise. Chloe was already in the booth. She was wearing a simple black dress that made her skin look even fairer, her cool elegance softened by a hint of casual grace. She was so beautiful it was hard to look away. But Ethan didn't dare stare. He sat down opposite her, eyes fixed on the table, like a student waiting to be disciplined by the principal. "Chloe, I brought all the documents. I checked them 3 times. I guarantee there are no mistakes," he said preemptively, trying to seize some control. Chloe slowly stirred her coffee, not even glancing at the folder. She looked up at him, her gaze direct. "Ethan," she asked suddenly, "are you that afraid of me?" "What?" "And no, of course not." Ethan denied it instantly. "Then why do you look like you've seen a ghost every time we meet?" Chloe leaned forward slightly, her eyes boring into his. "And why do you spend so much time talking trash about me behind my back?" A 4-letter word exploded in Ethan's mind. He nearly shot out of his chair. "How'd she know? Who snitched? My roommates?" "No way. I only ever complained to my girlfriend." "Wait." His face went white. A cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Chloe, you're mistaken. I've never said anything bad about you. Never." Deny. "Haven't you?" Chloe took out her phone. Her slender white fingers tapped the screen a few times. Then a voice, an achingly familiar, soft, slightly whiny voice, filled the booth. "Babe, I've been struck down by the Demon Queen again. She definitely did it on purpose. My new kicks. I just wore them for the first time today. They're dead." Sobbing underscore emoji. GIF. It was the exact voice memo he'd sent his girlfriend after the tater tot incident. Word for word. Ethan felt like he'd been struck by lightning. He froze, his mind a complete blank. Chloe played another one. It was his grand declaration of loyalty. "She's just a cold, artificial kind of pretty. Nothing compared to my babe, who is naturally adorable and sweet and kind. She can't even hold a candle to a single strand of your hair." And then a more recent one. "She's my Grim Reaper." One by one, his own voice messages played out in the quiet coffee shop, each one crystal clear and excruciatingly, mortifyingly public. Ethan's face went from white to red to a sickly green, before settling on a deathly gray. His lips trembled. His eyes were as wide as saucers. He pointed a shaking finger at Chloe's phone, unable to form a single word. Chloe turned off the recording and watched his petrified expression with an air of satisfaction, a triumphant, playful, and utterly dazzling smile finally breaking through her icy facade. "Babe, so, in your mind, I'm a demon queen, a Grim Reaper, and I can't even compare to a single strand of your babe's hair? I." Ethan felt his brain short-circuit. His ability to speak had completely vanished. The sheer shock and absurdity of the situation washed over him. Chloe Sterling, the sweet, gentle girlfriend who listened to him complain about Chloe Sterling every day. Was Chloe Sterling herself. Oh, and by the way, as if he wasn't suffering enough, Chloe pulled out a second phone, unlocked it, and opened a messaging app to an account he knew all too well. The one he had saved as My Babe 3. Luna Sky, do you need me to send you another voice message to prove it? My silly little boyfriend. Chloe tilted her head, her voice mimicking the sweet, soft tone she used online, but her eyes danced with mischievous delight. Boom! Ethan's entire worldview imploded. This was social suicide on a cosmic scale. What had he been doing for the last 6 months? He had been complaining about the girl of his dreams. To the girl of his dreams, he had trashed her, insulted her. He had pledged his undying loyalty directly to the person he was being loyal against. And he had, with the audacity of 1,000 fools, told her to format his hard drive. So this whole time, you knew it was me? He finally managed to croak, his voice trembling. Obviously, Chloe said with a raised eyebrow. The first day of our group project, you introduced yourself as Ethan Miller, and your screen name for the class was Far From Home. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Then, why didn't you say anything? Why did you pretend not to know? Why did you make my life hell on campus? Why did you listen to me complain about you like an idiot every single day? 1,000 questions swirled in Ethan's mind, but he couldn't articulate a single one. Why? Chloe stood up and walked around the table until she was standing right in front of him. She leaned down, her beautiful eyes sparkling with a thrill of successful prank and a flicker of something much softer. Because it was fun, watching you flinch like a scared little bird every time you saw me, only to run to my DMs and be my loyal little puppy, ranting and raving about me, then immediately turning around and pledging your undying love to me. She let out a genuine laugh. Ethan, you're so adorable, you know that? Adorable. Ethan wanted the floor to swallow him whole, or to spontaneously combust. Either would be fine. So all those times you approached me recently, that was on purpose too. He thought back to his recent good fortune, and a new wave of horror washed over him. Duh, Chloe said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Listening to you reject me to my face while praising me to the heavens online was getting a little ridiculous. I had to give you a little reward, see how long you could hold out. You're surprisingly resilient, I'll give you that. Was that a compliment? Ethan was about to cry. So, it was all a test. You could say that. Chloe nodded, her playful expression finally softening into something more serious. And you passed. Ethan, even though you talk way too much behind my back, and you're a coward and kind of an idiot. Ethan winced. Was this the good part? But Chloe met his eyes, her voice lowering, a hint of shyness coloring her tone. You're serious about your feelings. You're loyal, and you can resist temptation. I'm very happy with that. She reached out and gently pinched his still frozen cheek, her smile becoming real and warm. So, our online relationship is official now, my clueless boyfriend. Surprised? Ethan stared at the stunning face so close to his, now beaming with a gentle, genuine smile. His brain finally rebooted. Was he shocked? Yes. Was it unexpected? The understatement of the century. But was he happy? Looking into Chloe's smiling eyes, thinking that this goddess, this ice queen worshipped by every guy on campus, was the same girl who chatted with him every night, played video games with him, listened to his stupid complaints, and comforted him. His online girlfriend was Chloe Sterling, the beautiful, brilliant, untouchable Chloe Sterling. What had he, Ethan Miller, ever done to deserve this? He was so overwhelmed he couldn't speak. He shot up from his chair, his face burning. Am I dreaming? Are you really? The one and only, Chloe said with a laugh. But if I ever hear you say a bad word about me again. Her eyes narrowed dangerously. Never again. I swear. Ethan shook his head so hard it rattled. From now on, I'll praise you every day. I'll praise you to the moon and back. If you say jump, I'll ask how high. If you say fetch, I'll ask what I'm fetching. His ridiculousness made her laugh again. That's more like it. Ethan looked at her smile, and his heart skipped a beat. He asked, a little sheepishly, so, Can I hug my girlfriend now? My real life girlfriend. A blush touched Chloe's cheeks, but she didn't say no. She just gave a soft, quiet, Ethan carefully reached out and pulled her into a hug. Feeling the real, warm, softly scented girl in his arms, he finally believed it wasn't a dream. His online girlfriend really was Chloe Sterling. An intense wave of euphoria washed over him, leaving him dizzy. He held the campus queen in his arms, feeling like he had just won at life. No, he already had. The news that the Ice Queen, Chloe Sterling, was officially taken dropped like a bomb on Northwood University, detonating across every campus forum and social media group. At first, no one believed it. Then, the picture started to surface. In a library, the perpetually aloof Chloe Sterling was seen sitting next to a guy, smiling as she peeled an orange for him. In the cafeteria, she was sharing a pair of earbuds with him, both of them watching something on his phone. And on a path across the main quad, she was actually letting him hold her hand. Her expression was still a little reserved, but the way she looked at him, her eyes were practically sparkling. The guy was quickly identified. It was Ethan Miller, that quiet, kind of nerdy junior from the CS department. The collective sound of breaking hearts could be heard all over campus, followed by a million cries of outrage. What? How is Ethan Miller good enough for the goddess Chloe? This has to be fake. Is she under some kind of spell? It's over. My college dream is dead. All right, guys. Who's in on the group assassination of Ethan Miller? Sign-ups are now open. Ethan did, in fact, become public enemy #1 overnight. He could feel the daggers being stared into his back every time he walked across campus. But was he scared? Not one bit. He walked with a new spring in his step, wanted to shout from the rooftops. Chloe Sterling, the goddess you could only dream of, is mine. She's my girlfriend, and she smiles at me in private and peels oranges for me and plays video games with me and gets petty revenge on me when I complain about her. Okay, he would definitely keep that last part to himself. He wanted to live, after all. Dude, Ethan, you're a legend. A silent master. His roommate, Jake, slung an arm around his neck, his face a mix of awe and envy. You have to teach us your ways. How did you melt the Ice Queen? His other roommate, Leo, chimed in seriously. When did this even happen? We had no idea. Ethan just puffed out his chest. A magician never reveals his secrets. Let's just say my Chloe has a thing for guys like me. He conveniently left out the part where he didn't do any of the wooing and, in fact, had actively tried to sabotage himself for 6 months, only to be expertly reeled in by the Ice Queen herself. Whatever, man. Don't be smug, his roommates grumbled, though the jealousy in their eyes was obvious. Meanwhile, Chloe was being interrogated by her own friends. Okay, spill it. How did this happen so fast? You didn't even tell me. Maya demanded. Another friend, Sonia, added, and you can actually smile that sweetly? I thought you had facial paralysis. And then Jessica. So that's why you were messing with Ethan Miller all semester. You liked him. Is that your seduction technique? Acting like a 5th grade bully. Chloe, overwhelmed, finally just said, we met online. Online. Her friend's jaws collectively dropped. So, you knew it was him this whole time, and you just pretended you didn't? You were playing him. Maya was the first to connect the dots, remembering her role in delivering the phone number. Chloe, you are a devious mastermind. Did Ethan have a heart attack when he found out? Chloe thought back to Ethan's face, a perfect picture of a man whose soul had just left his body. She couldn't help but smile. Something like that. Wow, you're terrible, and I love it. Sonia squealed. So now you two are all lovey-dovey? It's sickeningly sweet watching you guys around campus. Chloe just smiled, the happiness in her eyes impossible to hide. Yes, she was enjoying this. She enjoyed seeing Ethan, now that he knew the truth, acting all timid but loving, treating her like she was made of glass. She enjoyed watching him puff up his chest with pride, but try to hide it, terrified she'd get mad. She enjoyed this secret, hilarious, topsy-turvy relationship that only the two of them understood. As for Ethan, he was floating on cloud 9. He might be public enemy #1, but every day he got to hug his beautiful, sweet-smelling girlfriend and hear her call him a goof in that cool voice that always softened just for him. He got to smugly dismiss all rivals, mostly by hiding behind his girlfriend's intimidating aura. It was awesome. He still occasionally complained to her via text. Babe, 2 more guys gave me the death stare today, pouting on her face. Chloe's reply was instant. Oh? Do you need me to go peel another orange for you in front of them? Ethan immediately panicked. No. Your Highness, please have mercy. I want to live to see tomorrow. Bowing underscore emoji. GIF. Chloe sent back a head-patting emoji. Good boy. I'll play games with you tonight. Ethan. Okay. You're the best, babe. I love you. Kiss underscore emoji. Kiss underscore emoji. Putting his phone away, Ethan looked toward the front of the classroom, where Chloe was giving the final presentation for their project. She was confident, poised, and brilliant, every bit the cool and capable campus queen. But only he knew that this girl, so aloof in public, would blush when he texted her, "I miss you," that she would sigh in exasperation when he played a game badly, but patiently coach him anyway, that she would playfully glare at him after he stole a quick kiss. The massive contrast made his heart melt and filled him with an incredible sense of pride. Chloe finished her presentation, and her eyes automatically found his in the back of the room. Their gazes locked. She gave him a tiny, almost imperceptible wink, a secret message just for them. Ethan broke into a wide, goofy, love-struck grin. On the stage, the corner of Chloe's mouth lifted into a smile that could melt 1,000 glaciers and bring forth spring. The sight stunned everyone in the room, and in unison, their hearts broke all over again, their minds screaming one collective thought. Damn it, it's all because of that Miller kid. Ethan, sitting in a sea of murderous glares, just sat up a little straighter and smiled even wider. Public enemy number one? He could live with that. The perks were totally worth it.